We are live for the co-main event at UFC Qatar, a big one in the welterweight division featuring Belal Muhammad versus Ian Machado Garry. Belal, the former middleweight champ, Ian Garry trying to get there. So how big this fight is hard to describe, really, for both fighters. I mean, Belal Muhammad is now 37 years old. He doesn't have much time to waste. Ian Garry, coming in at 16-1, is on the rise, but this is a fight he's got to win, right? I mean, just because Belal lost the title, it's kind of like fighting uh, for the belt, right? If Belal, other than the loss that he just had, I mean, Belal's kind of like the next guy below the champ, although this division is heating up, as we saw last week at UFC 322 with the wins by guys like Carlos Prates and Michael Morales. Islam Makhachev also winning and taking over the belt. JDM only having, beating Belal and losing it in his next fight. So this division is quickly on the rise. Can anyone beat Islam? I don't know. Doubtful. But there's going to be a lot of fighters calling out Islam. Ian Garry said that the whole division is on pause until he beats Belal. So we'll see what happens. Both guys staring each other down. All type of accolades coming in. We know Belal is just a whole different fighter than he was like 3 or 4 years ago. And here we go. No touch of gloves for Belal. And he's trying to get right after it. And Belal's done a great job lately with the takedown game over the last 5 to 7 fights to capture the belt. But can he do it to Ian Garry? Ian Garry clearly has the reach advantage. He will love to keep this fight standing. No question about it. Oh, and we had a poke already. And Belal goes back to the fence. We'll see the replay here. Left arm comes up. Yeah. Ay, 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 ay. And it looks like Belal is going to be fine, but he did clearly get a poke in. And I can tell you right now, Belal's not bowing out of this fight unless it's really bad, and I don't think it is. It looked pretty bad. Now Ian Garry already being warned, watch the fingers. Of course that's coming. Luckily no point taken. And Ian Garry did go in with open, an open hand. And here's another angle. Yeah. Crowd doesn't like that at all. And Belal quickly saying, let's go. After about a minute and a half. And Ian Garry trying to touch gloves. They did it at the beginning, and Belal kind of slapped his hand out there, but they never touched. So Belal clearly not about the fun and games. He wants to fight. Now Belal comes in with a left. Ian Garry gets out of there. Straight leg kick by Garry. First 50 seconds gone in this fight. And see, while Belal was running up to the title and then defending the title several times, the takedown game was really strong. But now he struggled against JDM, and many believe he'll struggle here against Ian Garry. And a big right by Belal. Ian Garry smiles and backs off. But usually once Belal gets you and he gets that head on the hip, man, it's going to be a problem. We haven't even seen a takedown attempt yet. Another straight leg kick for Ian Garry. And Ian Garry a little Off guard there, they reset in the center. Boy, and Belal looks like he's going to shoot, but he doesn't. Just waiting for it. That's when we'll really know. And Ian Garry a little tentative. And a right now landed by Garry. He slips. Now Belal lands a right. Crowd roars. But nothing too big yet. A nice right and left by Ian Garry. 11-10 Belal on head strike. So it's very close right now, halfway through the first round. And the pace is picking up for sure. Ooh, and a nice leg kick. Takes down Belal. He quickly gets back to his feet. Ian Garry not even interested in approaching for the takedown. Some big rights by Belal, but he can't land. Now Ian Garry landing a right. And Belal returns a leg kick up high. And here we go. Belal has Ian Garry tied up. And this is where questions about this entire fight are going to be answered right now. Because a lot of times when Belal gets you tied up, he's going to keep you there. And Garry quickly gets out of it. Okay. And I believe Ian Garry will pull away if he can defend the takedowns. It would be crazy if Belal beat Ian Garry in the stand-up game. And now Garry lands a left. These guys are getting after it. Belal with a left jab, misses on the right. And if Garry can go on to win this fight, it's good practice, right? It's nothing like Islam Makhachev, but it's good practice. And I think if you're looking for a guy that's gonna take on Islam, you got to find someone that can defend the takedowns relatively well. And even at that, Islam is a whole different animal. But Ian Garry has shown so far that he can defend these takedowns and keep the fight in the stand-up against Belal Muhammad, and that's key. As this final round approaches the end, both guys trade lefts, and that'll do it for round one. So we're heading into round two here of the co-main event. Ian Garry still a 3-1 favorite going into round two. So the odds are holding right now, but it's very close. 29-23 in significant strikes for Garry, 19-17 in head strikes for Belal. And what that means is that round's basically a toss-up. Who knows which way the judges will go. Now, if Belal wins this fight, I don't think he gets a title shot against Islam, right? I think then you look at Michael Morales, you look at Carlos Prates. I don't think either of those guys can defend the takedowns, but Michael Morales did look good against a takedown guy in his last fight, really leaning forward, keeping the hips back. But again, Islam is a whole different animal. He can stand and strike, and then eventually he's going to get you on the takedown. So you need someone that can defend him. Ilia Topuria, to me, is the best matchup, but I'm not so sure we're going to get that right now. Both guys can win another. We might get lucky and see that at UFC White House, but the timing is not there right now. They're going to have to fight in February in order for that to happen. And Ian Garry with a right and a left leg kick up high. Belal didn't like that here early in round two. And one thing Belal is doing is he's reaching on these jabs. And the left hook for Garry could be there. Nice right by Belal. And another one. But every time Belal lands, he's exposing himself. If Garry can figure out the counter, he's going to have an opportunity here to get a finish. Let's go, Garry. You got to figure this out. Oh, a nice right there by Ian. Belal's still very good, but this division is very deep, very deep. And you're 37 and getting older every day. Ooh, and Belal goes in for the takedown. Ian Garry kind of messed up there and let Belal get into the body. Now it will be interesting to see if he can keep his feet and get out of this. And a nice right by Belal on the way out, but Ian Garry escapes. 3 clinches, no takedowns for Belal. And another clinch for Belal. But the difference is Belal is so high, right? Normally he's got the head on the hip. And Ian Garry's doing a good job of preventing that. And in order to prevent it, he's got to keep the fingers out, which is what opened up that poke early in the fight. So he's got to be careful there, right? Because he's trying to catch Belal on the way in. Now a shoulder strike there by Belal. And Ian Garry tries to get low. But right now Belal has got the arms locked in underneath the both shoulders. And he throws a right. Now he loses it. He lost one underhook. He's trying to get it back. But Belal already digging the underhook. Or excuse me, Garry. And it's a matter of time. Yep, he escapes again. 145 left in round 2. Impressive for Ian Garry. Belal goes in again. Gets the single leg. And Ian Garry quickly gets out of that and digs the underhooks and pins Belal up against the fence. Impressive. And he lets him go. 115 left in round 2. Oh. Oh boy. That's 2 on Garry with the pokes. And this one wasn't bad. And now the ref's really looking at Garry. Let's see here. Here we go. Yeah, and see what's happening is Belal's landing the kick and Ian Garry's just pushing back like this and the thumb goes right in. It wasn't bad though. And if anything, it's good for Belal. He gets a minute to breathe. You really can't tell from that angle. It didn't look like it actually happened. It looked like Garry just pushed his face. And neither angle you can totally get a look. The right hand didn't touch the eye. The left hand, I don't know, man. I don't think it was. Here we go. And it's all because of the takedown game of Belal, right? Garry's trying to prevent him from shooting in, and he extends his fingers when he does it. Deep into the second round now. And Belal tries to shoot him for a takedown again, pins Garry up against the fence. Now he's digging both underhooks here. Let's see if he can land a takedown. That would be huge for him. And Ian Garry looking at his corner, putting his hands in the air as he's pinned against the fence and says, "What's this going to do?" So he's very confident in his ability to defend takedowns. Now Garry gets the underhook, a nice elbow on the way out to finish the round with a statement. So it's either 2-0 Garry or at minimum 1-1. So it could come down to the third round. I think Ian Garry won the first, but it was very close. And the always important stat is head strikes. Belal led like 10-8 after the first round. But now it's 53-23. Ian Garry and no significant strikes. He's ahead 33-25 in head strikes, which means he won that round by 10 in terms of the head strike. So that's why I say Garry definitely won round two. Round one is kind of up for grabs. Just depends on which way the judges want to go. But at the end of the day, kind of expected to be here, kind of expected this fight to go to a decision. We're now entering round three. And the next question is, Carlos Prates and Michael Morales had huge, huge finishes in a pay-per-view setting. Would that give him the advantage? If Garry can win this, he jumps right up to the number 2 or number 3 spot. Round 3's underway. Oh, a big right by Belal to start the round. And Ian Garry's got to be careful. He's got to be really careful. Oh, another right by Belal. And Ian Garry's got to really be careful of the fingers in this round. He's had a poke in both the first and second round. He's got to be, if he gets another one, he loses a point. That could cause him to lose the fight or be a draw. So he's got to be really careful. Now Garry spins Belal back into the fence. And then retreats. Belal starting strong in this round, though. Several heads. Oh, big right by Ian. Nearly drop Belal. That changes the round right there. Ooh, and a spinning back fist. And a straight leg kick. Ian Garry's starting to get off now. And another right. Oh, my goodness. And Belal walks Ian Garry into the fence. Ian Garry's going to walk his way back to the center, and we're free again. Belal shoots in for another one. This is his best opportunity. Heads on the hip. And Ian Garry gets him off right away. Excuse me. And that's the story of this fight right now. Going into, if Ian Garry can stop the takedowns, he's going to win, right? Nice right by Belal. And a double jab there by Ian. Belal shoots in again, and he really wants a takedown. Ian Garry spins to his back. He did give up his back momentarily. Now they're face to face. Belal's got him pinned against the fence. Belal 0 for 6 on takedowns. And Garry's just shown the ability to defend them all. And this final 230 is big, because if Ian Garry wins these final 230, he's going to win the fight. He's got the advantage of knowing he won the second round, but he's got to be careful that if he loses this round, he doesn't lose a split decision. I mean, that's what could possibly happen too. Yep, and every time Belal tries to get the head on the hip, Ian Garry's got those hands down right away, preventing it. And time just running out on Belal right now, seems like. Oh, Ian Garry falls. Belal almost jumped on top. That would have been a problem. And this is a style of fight we saw earlier in Belal's career when he still won most of his fights. But when he really started to excel and win the title and defend it, it was with the takedown game and just control. And Ian Garry has stifled that in this fight. And although Morales and Carlos Prates got huge finishes, you got to be thinking, who's the best guy to take on Islam right now in the welterweight? And it's probably Ian Garry. I mean, Shavkat's would be a problem too. We haven't seen him in a while, so he's on the back burner. But Ian Garry can defend the takedowns. Islam's a whole different animal, as we've said forever. But nice elbow there by Garry. But Gary's a guy that has shown, hey, I can defend the takedowns. You know, and to me, he's got the best shot to compete with Islam. I'm not saying he's going to beat him, but I'm saying he's got the best shot to compete with him in terms of being able to do that. The other two guys, we don't know. There's a tap, final 10 seconds, and these guys are going to throw here. Spinning back kick missed by Garry. Straight leg kick missed. And this fight will stay standing the entire time. So great job by Ian Garry to defend the takedowns. Basically, we have Ian Garry winning round 2, and rounds 1 and 3 are too close to call. I'm assuming 2 judges gave Ian Garry one of those 2 rounds. That's all he would need to win the fight. And it's very likely that's going to happen. So that's where we stand. 104 to 94, Ian Garry in total strikes. 76 to 49 significant strikes. These are all in favor of Garry. Head strikes 48 to 40. Leg strikes 24 to 3. Belal had like 335 of control. So think about that. For 335, Gary's pinned up against the fence, and not one time could Belal take him down. 0 for 7. So, you know, you don't always get credit for that, but to me, that should give Ian Garry the victory. And both guys are on top of the octagon fence saying they won. But to me, Ian Garry looks more confident. And here we go. Both guys will come to the center and we'll get this decision. They can get Ian Garry off the top of the fence. And here we go. Both fighters coming together. And Bruce Buffer will read it off. And they can't calm Ian Garry down. He's very confident he's getting the win here. Here we go. Going to be unanimous. Garry knows already. 30-27 on 2 and 29-28 on the third for Ian Machado Garry. And now we got 3 guys coming off huge wins calling for the title shot. What's the UFC going to do? And if you count Topuria, that's 4. This division is ridiculous right now. Ian Garry 17-1, welterweight division. UFC